should be. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining my live video, and you're all welcome. As yesterday we have been talking, I believe we'll continue today talking about how you can actually prepare for a travel career. So if you're out there and you are planning, you are, thinking about moving to another country to start a career, to start a new life, then you should watch this YouTube video and you should be able to learn a little bit or more than even you expect, or there are some things that you probably have not actually paid attention to, as to the importance of how you need to prepare to be able to get yourself a good landing when you move to another country for career development. Yeah. So yes, I'm back again. Hello. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for joining as well. Yep, so while we are waiting for others to show up, because a lot of times we find ourselves, a lot of people want to grow career wise, want to advance and become the best in their careers. However, if you do not know how to achieve that, then you're going to face a lot of hurdles. And as someone who has moved or has lived in different countries, have tried to pursue a career path, I think I have a bit of um, idea, or I have what it takes to be able to give you some advice, so that if you are one who is preparing for such, you will be able to know what to do. Hello, thank you all for joining the live video. You are very much welcome. I see you all. So please engage with me in the chat. Put in your comments if you have questions, if you are interested to move to another country to study, to work, or to develop your career whatsoever. This video is for you. So let's have a conversation. Let's focus and discuss on the challenges, the good and the bad, the pros and the cons of everything that you need to know before you get into that. Yep. Oh. So yeah. Hello, I see you guys. You're welcome. Thank you for joining the live. Hi. Hi, Shaya. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good afternoon. Hello. Thank you for joining. I see you all. You're welcome. Very much welcome. So yes, like I said, please engage with me in the chat so that we make the chat very lively and we discuss a lot concerning having a career, planning to develop a career in another country. And if that's you, I'm here for you to answer your questions. Hello. Okay. Yes, and please make sure if you have somebody who is interested to probably improve their career or move to another country just for career purposes, make sure please do well to support me and share this video to them as well, so that they all come and join me and we all have to learn and benefit from this. Please don't be shy to send in your comments. Don't be shy to engage with me. I'm here for you as well as you are here for me. So let's keep going. I see you all. Thank you for joining. So, okay, firstly, what is the first thing that you have to do if you are planning to develop a career or planning to change career, whatsoever it is? What do you have to do first? You need to first of all be able to decide on which kind of career you are going in for, and haven't been able to decide. It could be you have a career that you are focusing on at the moment, that you are currently doing, and then you want to change into something else. If it is something that you've never done before, then you need to find a way that you are getting into a career, or you are moving to a country where they are actually very good in that particular career. They are actually they have the skills, the competence, and everything that they'll be able to teach you from a zero level. Let's say, for example, if you are interested to study or to be in the nursing or the medical field, and you want to move to Finland, right? That would be a good option because Finland has a good educational background. So you know that if you move here, even if you have zero knowledge regards nursing, regards any career, you'll be able to move here and they're going to teach you from level 1. It doesn't matter if you've never been in that field, you are going to be taught. So that is something that you want to look for a country. If you are more into maybe technology, you want to move to a country that you are so sure that they have what it takes to teach you. They have what it takes to help you to grow in that career. And also the second thing you want to also look into is, if you are moving to that country, do you want to move to a country where they speak another language, or where they speak the language that you can? Because it also matters a lot. The career or the career advancement that you will experience would also depend on the language of the country. So for example, if you are planning to move to Finland, you should know that, okay, here in Finland, after getting your degree, you need to after getting your degree, you need to at least learn the language, so that when you learn the language, you'll be able then to work in the field that you desire. Yeah. So yes, firstly, discovering or deciding on which career you want to go into. Search for the countries that actually have the best to offer you when regards to that particular career or that particular choice of work. And then you also decide on, okay, the time. Probably before even moving there, you have to decide, okay, when do you want to change this career? Is it now? Is it in the next 6 months? Is it in the next 1 year? What is your desire? When do you want to move into that career or into that country to start the career? Because that also depends. That also would influence how you have to start preparing your document. Because of course, except maybe you live in an environment or in a country where, for example, like the EU, and you know that, okay, you can easily move from one EU country to another. But in case you are from a country where it's not in the EU, and you need probably like visas, you need like different things to be able to prepare, right, to move to that country, then you have to make sure that you know of when, so that you get to prepare ahead of time. Yeah. And also the next thing, after deciding on what kind of career, deciding on which country you want to move to, deciding on when you want to move there, then you have to start thinking about what are the requirements, what do you need to be able to move to that country. Do you need a visa? If it's a country where you need a visa, then you have to start looking for information as to the cost of the visa. You look for information as to how do you get the visa? How long would it take you to get the visa or the residence permit? Yeah. So talking about Finland, if you are planning to move to Finland, the visa process usually is not very long. It will depend also on what kind of visa you are looking for. If you're looking for a permanent visa or you're looking for a work visa, then they have different procedures with regards to that. And if you want me to talk about the visa procedure later on, probably in a video or a live, I'm going to do that. However, I'm just going to say it ranges sometimes between, let's say 1 month to 3 months. Yeah, depending. Even though they have been working on making sure that they make the process really fast, so you don't take so much time. They give you the decision as soon as possible, so you can be able to decide on whether you want to continue or not. Hi, Glory. Hi, you're welcome. Thank you once again. Good to see you. I see you. I see you. How are you doing, man? So yes, today we are talking about deciding on a career choice. So I think Glory is in Finland, if I remember very well. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So hello, if you're new, if you're just coming, if you're just joining the live, you're very much welcome. I appreciate you all. Yeah. Appreciate you all. So we are talking about making, if you want to move somewhere to have a career or to have a life in another country, what you need to do, what you need to know. Yeah, so after deciding on what kind of career you want to move into, the country that offers the best choices for you, that's fine. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you, Glory. Say Glory. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Yes, so after deciding on what kind of career you want to move into, deciding on what country offers you the best opportunity to actually excel in that career, then you also have to decide on when you want to move to that country, because it depends also if you are, like I said, if you are in the EU country, or you are probably from Africa or Asia and you need a visa. So when you know the when you want to actually achieve that, it would help you to start looking for information as to what kind of visa you have to apply, the cost of the visa you have to apply to, and also the how long it takes for the visa, because also knowing when would help you if you want to, maybe you currently have a job that is going on and you want to move, let's say by next year, you need to actually start the process at an early time so that you are not put under a lot of pressure. So knowing the when you want to actually move into the new career, or still it could be the same career that you actually are in, but you just want to relocate to somewhere else. So having this knowledge is very, very essential. So, okay, when it comes now to the requirements or the things that you will need in order to be able to move to another country to start a career or to continue on your career, it will have to do with, okay, finding out if you need a visa. Most of the times, those who are coming to Finland, maybe international people coming to Finland or to Europe, you definitely need a residence permit. And if you're coming directly, also, it could depend. If you're coming to study, and then after study, then you get into the career, the work life, that is also going to depend. Say, for example, you want to move to Finland as a nurse, or if you already have previous knowledge in nursing, then you move to Finland, and with that knowledge in nursing, you can be able to have just a few courses that you would need to do. You might not necessarily need to do a whole course. You just have to do probably a top-up course depending on the certificate that has been compared with that which you had back home. Yeah. So with that, after the board here in Finland, that's the Valvira, is going to check on, okay, if your certificate actually corresponds to their standard of education. If yes, then you will be given probably a few, you just have to do a few hospital practice, and with that you'll be able to get whatever it needs, and then they're going to give you a certification for you to start working. But then if you're moving to Finland as a student, then you know that you need to go through a study route, and then from there you now go to write exams and all of those things. After the graduation, then you are going to get the certification and the license to practice as a nurse in Finland. So thank you. If you're welcome, everyone. If you're just joining me right now, if you're just joining me, you're very much welcome. I appreciate you all. So if you give me some minutes. Hi, Atari, you're welcome. How are you doing? Nice to have you here again. Okay. Oh, that's so nice to know, Atari. I'm so grateful. That's so nice. It's a pleasure. So feel at home, feel free, feel free. You're very much welcome, and I really appreciate that. I think that's supposed to be how I want my live videos to be, so that when someone comes in, they are able to feel not left out. Yes. So that's actually the goal. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Really? Okay, that's very nice. That's very nice to know that I have a unique vibe. Okay. And I think it's good. It's probably a positive one, right? Yeah. So, Atari, if I could, I don't know why. Okay. Really? Oh, you make me laugh even more. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the way of welcome. Thank you. I'm just being myself, and I think that's like what I like the message you send, the message you send to me, like just being yourself, and then you connect with the people that actually have the same kind of, would I say, energy, or the same kind of the way they see life as well. Yes. Yeah. So basically, I'm just being myself, and I'm happy that you also feel safe when you join my live videos. I hope every other person that joins experiences that, because it's a good thing. Yep. Yeah. So how I hope your day started quite well, Atari. I hope you started your day really well, and everything is going on fine with you as well. So please feel free, engage with me in the chat as you are already doing. And every other person who is joining me, I really appreciate you all for supporting. I just really hope that you will get the best out of these live sessions. That it's not just me talking, but we are having. Do you have any? Oh yeah, I think I placed from the thumbnail. We're talking today about career development for those who are interested to probably move to another country. If someone is interested to move to another country to either study or work, yeah, in between you can also ask questions in between, and then I'll try to answer you as well. So yeah, so like I said again, once again, everybody, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining and for just joining me this morning. And I'm very much grateful to each and every person that is supporting me right here on this channel. So like I said, today I'll be doing this video talking about how you can be able to prepare, how you can prepare yourself for if you want to move to another country to start a career or to continue your career. So we are talking about that. So stay tuned, share the like and the video as well. So yes, like I was saying, there are certain things that you need to consider if you want to move to another country to start a career or to actually advance in your career. And one of those things, I'll begin to start with this. One of the things that you need to do is to, first of all, if you don't have like a specific career that you are already interested in, you need to start deciding on, okay, what career do you want to increase, you want to work on? Do you want to continue with the career that you are currently doing, or you want to move to a completely different field? Because there are people that sometimes they could be in one field, let's say you will be in maybe business or some other kind of profession, and you want to move into tech. So when you decide on the career that you want to pursue, okay, the next thing now you also have to decide on is, okay, let's say for example you've decided to move into the tech, right, or maybe into nursing, like moving to Finland. We are talking mostly about moving to Finland. You've decided, okay, I want to move to Finland to become a nurse or a healthcare personnel. Now After making that decision, okay, this is the career that you want to move into, the second thing you have to ask yourself is like, okay, what country offers me the best option? Which country offers me with the best option that I can be able to get the maximum or the best career advancement that I can find. Yeah. So when you make your research, you decide on, okay, say I'm moving to Finland, I'm moving to America, I'm moving to Europe or wherever, right? After making that decision, the next thing you have to ask yourself is, when do I want to actually make this move? Because the when is also very, very important aspect of everything. You have to decide on, okay, I'm moving to this country maybe in a year or in 2 years time. It also depends on your current situation. Do you have a job that you are currently attached to? Are you already prepared to move from that job, or what's your time frame? Now, understanding your time frame is also going to help you to be able to decide on knowing when you have to start compiling your documents, because most of the times, if you are living maybe in Africa, in Asia, or somewhere else, you need to probably go through visa processing and compilation of documents to be able to apply and get a residence permit to move to your required country. But then if you are someone who is already maybe in the EU zone, or you live in a country, or you have a passport that allows you to move to another country to apply or to work, then you don't need to bother so much about that. But if you know that you need these documents, you have to also decide on when, because sometimes the application period, or when you've applied for your visa or the residence permit, it has to take probably 1 to 3 months, and you should be able to know that other things could come in between. You could be asked of additional documents, you could be asked of a lot of different things. So having a frame mind, having this already in your plan would really, really help you and ease the process for you. Okay, so you've decided, say you are moving to Finland, you are moving to Europe, to Germany, or wherever country you've decided. Now, the next thing you have to start doing is compiling your documents. Most especially, you will need a passport, you will need a passport, a proof of funds, and every other thing that you know that you would have to apply. That is because different countries also have different requirements, and the kind of visa you are coming in for would also determine. If you are someone that you are moving to, you want to say, for example, you are coming to Finland, but you already have a background of nursing. So you will not want to come to Finland to start all over from the basics, right? To start studying nursing. If you already have a degree, you will just move to Finland. And then from there, you can be able to maybe go to the Valvira, that is the National Board of Welfare and Healthcare. They are going to now check your documents and be like, okay, you have these documents, you have this qualification. They are going to compare it with that of the Finnish system, and with that they are going to decide on if you need to do some additional courses, you need to do some top-up practice to be able to meet the requirements. Then after that, you get now the licensure to start practicing. But then if you have absolutely no background in nursing, or absolutely no background, you definitely have to go through the studies. That is, you start from the first year, you go to the second year, do the practice and every other thing. So understanding your journey is actually a very vital part in it. Terve, borober. Terve, kiitos. Mitä kuuluu? Tervetuloa. Yes, so deciding on these things is going to help you. And like I said, going through the process will take 2 to 3 months. Going through the process is going to take like 2 to 3 months to be able to get this visa. So, excuse me. Bernie, hello. Hi, thank you for joining the live. I see you. You're welcome. Hope you're doing great. Yeah. Okay, is Bonnie watching me from Finland, or you're watching me from somewhere else? Alexander. No, Alexander, вы говорите по-русски, по-моему, да? Ваше имя написано на русском языке. Ну, хорошо. So, after gone through the process of, you could actually also ask the Valvira, you get their information. If you are interested to contact Valvira, I could send you their link, or probably write it I write it down in the description. Ну, да. Хорошо, я тоже по-русски говорю. Вчера мы разговаривали про как мы можем разные языки учить. Ну, хорошо. Рада вас видеть здесь. So if you are someone that, okay, depending on, haven't had and understood this knowledge of, отлично, haven't understood this knowledge of what you need, so being able to decide on which country or what profession, so being able to decide on which profession you are going in for, what country will offer you the best knowledge or the skills acquisition or the best opportunity to advance in that career, and then deciding on when you want to move to that country, compilation of the documents that are required based on the kind of visa you want. Are you going to start from scratch, or you already have a background that is going to support you and you just need some support, maybe few trainings to be able to top up and meet up to the standard of that country? Then you get into the work life. Those are the things that you want to keep in mind. I hope that this video has answered your question and you'll be able to get everything that you need. Hopefully, if you have more questions, I'll be able to answer you as well in the later future. Olen toissa, hyvä päivä, jatka moi. No, спасибо большое, kiitos paljon, olen ihan iloinen, että olet autanut minulle, kiitos paljon, ja nähdään sitten seuraava kerta. Moikka, hyvää päivää jatkoa sinullekin. Okay, hello. Okay. Yeah. So if I may ask you guys, what are some of the career options that you've actually considered engaging in? Are you a tech bro? Are you a tech sis? What career have you actually been interested to venture into? Moi Gaike, hello everyone, you're welcome. I see you all and I appreciate you so much. Please, we are talking today about how you can prepare for career development, especially if you are planning to move to another country. So if you are just joining us, please make sure to stay tuned and add to us your comments as well. And yeah, we really would appreciate you so much. Yeah, so what? Okay, you want me to repeat everything I just said? Okay, you're welcome everybody. Okay, you're welcome everybody, and I really appreciate you all so much. Thank you for joining again this video. And like I said, today we are talking about how you can prepare for a career development or advancement in another country. So let's say, for example, you have been at your specific job, or you have something that you really want to develop in, but where you are currently at, you are unable to grow or improve in that career, and you are planning to move to another country, say to Europe, to America, or some other place where you'll be able to achieve that. We'll be talking about that. So stay tuned, share these videos, share the live as well. And yes, or make sure to also leave your comments in case you have any, so that we'll be able to come back to you and answer you in the later future. So yeah. So yes, I said that before you move to a country, or before you actually make that big step, that bold step to move to another country, you should be able to decide on a few things. So firstly, you have to decide on which country you want to move to. Depending on that, it's going to help you to secondly decide on oh my eyes, this light is so much. Sorry. So firstly, you have to decide on what career path you want to get into. Are you ready? Because there are people that will want to move to another country just for another career experience. Let's say, for example, you want to move to a country to develop in tech, or you want to develop in your nursing skills. So deciding on the career path you want to follow first will also help you to secondly decide. It will also help you on the second thing you have to decide on, that is the country you would have to move to. Because knowing the career path you want to take would help you to decide on the country you want to move to. Because would help you to decide on the country that you want to move to, because not every country is capable of offering you the best career development or career opportunities that you will need. So understanding the career you want to move to, making research, do your due diligence to make the research on what country will offer you the best. Let's say, for example, I have audience who want to move to Finland, right? And they have to decide on, okay, if they're moving to Finland, this career, let's say in the nursing field, is it going to help me? Am I going to advance? Am I going to grow? Am I going to become the best version of myself if I move to this country in this career? And the answer is yes. So you make that choice. Okay, you've decided on you want to come into the medical field or into the nursing field. You've also decided on, okay, you want to come to Finland. Next, the third thing you have to decide on is when you want to move to this country. The when is also very, very important, because it helps you to not just be relaxed about the thing, but to actually be on your toes and follow through to the end. So deciding on, okay, you want to come into this field you want to move to this country and start this field, let's say in a year or in 6 months time, it's also going to help you to also focus on the urgency. So let's say you decide that, okay, within a period of a year, you want to move to Finland, right? And probably advance in this career. The next thing you have to decide on is also, okay, now I've decided that I want to move to Finland, I want to move to this field, and I want to move within a year. What do I need? That is the next question you have to ask yourself, or ask every other person. Ask me as well, who is making this video, right? And then I'm going to tell you, okay, there are certain processes you have to go through. Because moving to Finland, except you are somebody who is in the EU, that you can just pick your bags and start moving to Finland. But if you are in, let's say, Africa, you are in Asia, you are in another country that requires a visa or a residence permit, you need to be able to get sufficient time to make that preparation. So for those who are lesser in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in other countries, in Africa and Asia, you have to start making sure, okay, compilation of your documents. You need a passport, you need a proof of funds, you need probably an admission, because you cannot just move without an admission. You have to prove that, okay, you actually have a place you are coming to, either a school that you are coming to or a work company that has employed you. And then another thing that you also have to determine is also, okay, if you are someone who already has a background in that field, let's say you have a background in the nursing field, because I've had people ask me about, okay, they are already working as a nurse in a particular country and they want to move to Finland to continue their work as a nurse in Finland. Now you have to make sure that, okay, with that certificate, you contact the National Board of Healthcare and Welfare in Finland, that is Valvira. You have to contact them, because before you practice in Finland as a nurse, you need to be able to get the licensure or the right to practice. So you make sure to contact Valvira, and what Valvira will do is they are going to check they are going to check your competence or your certificate that you have back home in your country, and they're going to see, okay, does this certificate correspond with our standard of education? If it actually corresponds, then you'll be issued a right to practice or to work in Finland. But then if it doesn't, if maybe you have a lack of some courses, some practice and all of that, what they're going to do is they're going to tell you, okay, it's true, you have this certificate, and hello, peace of God, I see you, thank you, you're welcome, thank you. So what they're going to do is they'll be like, okay, now they've seen your certificate, they're going to compare your certificate with that of the Finnish standard, and if your certificate meets the criteria, then they're going to issue you the right to practice or the licensure to practice as a healthcare personnel in Finland. However, if your certificate does not meet the required standard, what they're going to do is they're going to tell you to do a certain level of top up, and that top up could be probably you have to go through a certain theoretical classes, or you have to go through or you have to do a certain number of practice depending on what you are missing in your certificate. Yeah, and after you have done that, have done the practice, have done the theoretical hours, then you will be up to the standard, and then they are going to issue you the right to work as a healthcare personnel in Finland. So basically that is the process. And hi, peace of God, I see you, thank you for joining. Please make sure to leave your questions as well in the comments. I'm watching, I'm seeing you guys. So yes, so basically that is how you go through the process of moving from another country into Finland or into Europe to study or to work as a healthcare personnel. However, if you are a student and you are someone who has no background in maybe say nursing or IT or any field that you are looking into, what you have to do is you now have to come as a student. You now have to come through the study route, where you'll be able to go through the normal 3.5 years of studies. Let's say in the nursing field, you have to go through the 3.5 years of studies, and after that, you now graduate and apply for your licensure still with Valvira. And so I'm going to also make another video or in another live session, we are going to talk about how you can apply through Valvira. And usually the Valvira is you have to pay for your licensure and every other thing, but the process is very, very easy if you have guidance. Yes. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Share this video to others so that they can learn and also benefit as you are benefiting. Moiku. Hi, thank you so much, guys. I'm so thank you. Peace of God, are you here? Oh jeez. This video, and like I said, today we are talking about how you can prepare for a career or advancement in another country. So let's say, for example, you have been at a specific job, or you have something that you really want to develop. Hi. How do you know a legit program for traveling? Okay. So how do you know a legit program for traveling? Now, of course, it wouldn't be a good idea that you just jump up and you just decide on any program. You should be able to go through research and probably do your own research, ask questions from people who have actually gone through that route, right? Because you can always learn from other people's mistakes. When you make sure you do your proper research, you ask questions from those who have gone through that route, it will help you, because they're also going to tell you of the pros and the cons and the things that you shouldn't do, because there are certain things that you are not supposed to do or maybe if you are about to enter into a new travel program, you should be able to ask questions basically. Yeah, so that's how you know a legit program. And then also, because of course, so not everything that you see online is actually the truth. Some of them could be scams and all of that. So you want to make sure to ask from someone who has actually gone that route. Or you do your due diligence and do sufficient research. Yeah, you shouldn't be in a rush, you shouldn't be in a hurry. Because if you are in a hurry, definitely you would find yourself in something that you were not prepared for. Did I answer your question? Peace of God. I need to get water. I'm almost drinking sanitizer. Oh, Jesus Christ. Peace of God. Hello. Can you hear me? I'm literally multitasking right now. Before you're traveling, did you have any agenda like what you were going to do? So yes, before moving to Finland, hold on. So yes, before my traveling or moving to Finland, I already had an idea of what I wanted to do, because clarity is something that you really want to hold at your right hand. You don't just want to move to another country or just relocate without having a plan in mind, because you would face a lot of challenges, because you'll be so confused. And out here you don't really get so much support as maybe when you have your pals, you are in an environment where you have your pals together and everybody. So having a plan would at least help you, that even if you have to drift a little bit from the plan, you would know that okay, there is an original setting that you can always fall back to and check on it. So before I moved to Finland, I was first of all in another country, that's Russia. And I was there because I went for studies. But when I got I have always desired to be in the nursing field, right? So when I was about to move to Finland, I made sure that I applied to a nursing field. So when I came here, I had clear direction of what I'm going to follow. And when I came, I put in the effort that I even finished my program a year earlier than the normal program. That is because why I had focus. And so I'm advising that if you are going to another country, if you are moving to some other country to pursue a career, have a focus, because that focus is going to help you not to drift or to follow things or to follow another path when things get hard. So when I moved to Finland, I was able now to study and follow my nursing program. And yeah, I became so fulfilled because I knew I was doing something that I was passionate about. I was doing something that I was focused on. And literally my teachers could see that okay, this girl has a focus on this thing, which is something that helps each and every one of us if you are working on that part. And it doesn't have to be about nursing, it could be any field, IT or whatever you are interested in. Have you been to Russia before? Made you leave Russia? Okay, so like I said, I moved from Russia before, right? This is because initially, even before leaving my country, Cameroon, I desired so much to be in the nursing field. But then I thought when I moved to Russia, I'll be able to study in the nursing field after studying the language, because I studied the language for a year, the Russian language for a year, and then I had to move to the university. So at that time, I didn't move to Russia on scholarship. I was not really well informed, which is why I'm telling you that before you move to another country, do your due diligence, get all the information you need to get before you move there, so you don't get to another country when you have no support, no family members, and you'll be so stranded. So I moved to Russia. I was not well informed about the scholarship, and so things were not really easy. And secondly, I was not doing the program that I desired. I had to delve into biology, which is a very good program as well. But that was not that was not like my first priority. So when I got the opportunity to move to Finland, I made sure that I didn't repeat the same mistake I made when moving to Russia. So I applied for a nursing program, and that's how I moved to Finland. And I also moved from Russia because I was studying in Russian language, but my program in Finland was in English language. So it was like a win-win for me. I moved to the field that I desired and had passion so much for. And secondly, it was in the English language, and I was able to study and finish even earlier than the required time. Yes, why did you prefer Finland to Russia? Okay, so basically that is the reason why I prefer Finland to Russia. And also I had also other relative and support system here in Finland compared to Russia. Of course, Russia, I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends because during my stay there, I had developed friends. I had learned the language, so life became almost easier at that point. But then still, there is still certain level of priorities. I had to pursue my career, which is the nursing field. So I had to. I couldn't juggle both of them. Yeah, so I had to let go of one and follow the other, which is what I did. Yeah. So if you have a hunger to move to another country, like I said in the beginning of this live video, before you make that step to move to another country, please do your research. Make sure that you have sufficient information onto what you are stepping into. So what I would say is that before you move to any country of your choice, you have to decide. Don't just move to any country because you see other people going there. Firstly, you have to decide, okay, what am I, if I want to move to another country, why do I want to move to another country? If you want to move there for career advancement or for career development, then okay, you'll be able to decide, okay, this country that I want to, okay, let's say for example, I want to move into tech. You have to find out, you have to make your research, okay, I'm moving into tech. What would this country offer me? Will this country help me to be able to achieve and advance in this tech career that I want to venture into? And if the answer is yes, the next question you have to ask yourself is, how soon do I want to relocate to this country? That's the next thing you have to ask yourself. And having decided, it depends on your current situation. If you are someone that is committed to a job at the present moment, then it might not be very easy for you to just jump out and move. There are other processes you need to do to be able to probably cancel your contract of the place you are working currently. But if you are actually free, you are not really committed to any job in particular, then you can be able to say, okay, in 6 months time I want to move to another country, right, to this country that you've decided on. And then after making that decision on how soon you want to move to, the next question you have to ask yourself is, what do I need? Because of course, before you move from one country to another, you definitely need useful. Before you move from one country to another, you would definitely need visas to apply to and all of that. You cannot just, except maybe you are in the EU country where you can easily just move from one country to another without a visa. But if the country you are moving to, you need a visa, then you have to start making sure that you apply and you start going through the visa process well ahead of time. Yes. And how, okay, when you're talking about the visa process, you need to be able to, okay, decide on, okay, you need a passport, you need a proof of funds, you need a reason for moving to that country. Do you have a job that you've applied to that they've given to you already? Or are you moving to that country to first of all study in that field before you get into the work life? That has to be provided. It's one of the essential things. You need to be able to decide. If you have a school admission, okay, you need to add the school admission to your application. And then you go for the specific place, to the embassy or to the consulate, to apply for the visa. Sometimes the visa processing or the residence permit processing will take 1 to 3 months. And after going to when you have actually received now the visa or the passport or the visa or the residence permit, then you can apply, buy your visa, your flight ticket, and then you move to the required country. I hope I've answered your question. Peace of God. What was your biggest challenge to travel out of the country for studies? Okay, I would say that for me personally, I always knew that I was going to travel out of the country. So for me, I didn't really face I was actually excited about it. Of course, the circumstances that made me to move out of my original country was due to the situations that surrounded things. Yeah, education was not was we had educational challenges. So I would say that because of course strikes and political crisis. So I had to move. Yeah, because I wanted to still further my studies anyway. So I moved to another country. Now, one of the challenges I would say I faced when I had already moved was the lack of support and community. Was lack of support and community, because of course moving to another country you wouldn't get that maybe your family members and all of that. Like I said, the first country I moved to was Russia. I didn't have my family, immediate family members there. I had to start all over, creating new friendship, creating new connection, learning the language, which is also very vital. So one of the challenges also was learning the language, because without the language go to you could go to the shop, but then you definitely buy something that you didn't need. For example, I heard someone mentioned someone a while ago, like, okay, when they went to another country, an experience someone had, they moved to another country and they had to actually go buy, is it an animal food, thinking it's food for humans. You see, because probably it was written there, but in another language, and they didn't know that, okay, this food is not for humans, it's for animals. And so the person bought it and enjoyed it actually. So the language was one of the challenges, and having to create new connections, which later on turned to family and very good connections. So I think it's also a win-win for you to move to another country. I hope I'd answer your question. Thank you so much, guys. So please, thank you for watching. Please continue to put in the chat box as well. Continue to put in the chat box as well. And please make sure to share the live as well, so that others will come join us and enjoy this good knowledge that you're enjoying as well. Please don't be selfish. Share it so that others will benefit as well. Okay? Thank you. So, of course, if you are about to move to another country, you have to keep it at the back of your mind that it's not going to be a bed of roses. Because, of course, it's not your country, your birth country. Even sometimes we face challenges in our birth country. So, what more of if you are moving to a country where you are not actually originally from there? You definitely face challenges. Yeah, but then having a resilient mind would be one of the things that are going to help you scale through. And every single time you scale through, you'll be proud of yourself. I bet you that. Okay, just give me a minute. I need to get some water. Okay. Thank you. I'm back again. I'm back. Doing these lives, I have to have water with me because, of course, talking is not really easy. Don't you feel? Oh, yeah. So, is peace of God? Are you in another country apart that is not your home country? Do you have any challenges that you've also actually faced that you want to share with us? So, in your journey so far out of the country, what has been your most exciting moment? Okay, I would say that I have a lot of different exciting moments actually, but one of them has been the topic we were discussing yesterday, that is learning new languages, because I just feel I've learned a lot of different cultures. I could interact with a vast number of people now because I understand different cultures and learning languages. So, one of the exciting moments for me has actually been learning different languages. Yeah, it actually helped. I remember in 2020 thereabout, between 2019 and 2020, I had like a lot of people from Laos, different country, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, like just a vast uh, community of people. It helped me so much to see life from different perspectives, and it was just actually a moment of growth for me. I'm still actually very excited about this opportunity to move to another country because there is so much growth that I have experienced during this period of time. What would be your advice for those back home who have the dream and are intelligent but don't have the financial means? Okay, what I have to say for those who are in a country where they don't have the financial means, yeah, I think just have a positive mind, because firstly, like I was saying yesterday, if you want to achieve anything, you should your mindset actually plays a vital role in it. So have a positive mind. Do not have a limiting mindset that, oh, because I don't have the finances, I cannot make it. No, there are people who have gone out of the country on scholarship. And so if you are even an intelligent somebody, you have the brains, you have the skill, you even have that's even a greater advantage for you. Yeah. So do not have a limited mindset. Okay, for example, you are somewhere, you don't have the finances but you have the brains, you could write application letters, you could enroll to write exams for a scholarship. So for example, like I made mention that when I moved to Russia, I didn't have like a lot of idea about okay scholarship and all of that. But when I arrived there, I noticed a lot of students came on scholarship. So if you have that opportunity, you are brilliant, you are learned, apply for scholarships, seek NGOs that can support you, write for grants. And when you do that, you'll be able to you see you'll even be surprised that you'll even get opportunities way better than you even imagined. So do not, first of all, do not have a limiting mindset. Believe that you can. If you want to go out, there is a will, there is a way. You find out, ask people. That is why we are on this platform, not just to come have vibes, but to be able to connect with people that can provide you with the information that you need to be able to achieve the goals that will help you career wise and otherwise. Yeah. I have a friend who traveled to Florida, United States for studies, but she is saying due to the high cost, she will not be able to continue, that she wants to seek asylum. What is your advice for her? Okay, well, what I would say is, like I mentioned, like we started in the beginning of the life talking about doing proper research. Because from what I've noticed and my time talking with a lot of people just are excited about the idea of moving out of the country, like it's a kind of vibe thing, which I stand here to say that it's not just a vibe. You should be, the fact that okay, everyone is driven to move to America doesn't mean that is where you should go. No. America is a good place, we all know. But if it doesn't align with your values, if it doesn't align with what you are looking for, don't do it. Because I understand, for example, your friend, the stress she might be going through, it's mentally draining. Like because the fees right there is very, very high. So if you're somebody who want to move there and you had the ideology like, oh, I can work and pay for my school fees, and as a student, you are not allowed to work probably certain amounts of hours per week, you wouldn't be able to raise that money. Yeah. So what I would say to her is that if she has the opportunity, if her school offers a possibility for her to pause her studies, then she can pause her studies, find a job, and then probably save enough and then she can go back to school. But let her not just terminate her studies. She can put it on a pause. I don't know about America if they do that, but here in Finland, if say for example you were going to school and due to some reason, maybe an accident or something, you can no longer continue with school, you can apply for your studies to be on hold. Yeah, so what I can tell her is, firstly, let her not just disappear from school. Let her apply for a hold, study hold, and then she either, if she want to seek for asylum, that's okay. But in my opinion, I would say she can actually look for a job and try to save money that she'll be able to get back to school. Or moreover, she can actually study part-time, like like not actually all the courses per semester and everything. So she studies in a graduate process, or she expands her studies in, probably if you're supposed to finish in 4 years, she can take a longer time. Because I don't know, I know that probably the asylum process would also require money, and it's also mentally draining, which is, I would say that before she gets into that, she should actually do a proper research. Let her not just delve into it because she's heard people say that, because you have to go to the court, you have to do a lot of different things. So let her, may she needs to consider all of that before she takes that decision. Thank you. Yeah, so making good research before you take actions is very, very vital in life. And I think a lot of times Africans, I mean, I'll say Africans, well, even people out of the country, we are prone to just take decisions out of emotion. I understand that sometimes we're in the spur of emotion or the spur of the moment, we just want to act. However, you need to consider, the Bible says that if some the Bible says if someone wants to build a house, you need to count the cost. So before you take that step to do anything, pray about it, count the cost. Do not just act because you see others acting. You do not have the same capacity as them. You don't know their support system. You don't know their backgrounds they are coming from. So you don't want to act with them. You don't just want to act like them when you don't have as much backing. Because otherwise, if you some people would go to do certain things because they know that, okay, they are from a wealthy background where they can just do things anyhow and they will still survive it even if they find themselves in a mess. But if you're coming from a family where you are the one struggling by yourself, you don't want to just take actions anyhow, because these actions, of course, you need to spend money to do them. You need to spend money for applications. You do a lot of things. So you don't just want to engage into those things where, yeah, would lead you to more trouble than help. So I hope I've answered your question. Thank you, everyone, if you're just joining me right now. I see you all and I appreciate you. So we are talking about moving to another country for career development and life in general. Yeah. So if you have questions, please make sure to add them again in the comment. I make sure to read every comment and answer you. You're very much welcome if you're joining my family for the first time. And yeah, feel at home. I have a friend. Okay, so I think I answered this question. Yeah. Thank you all, everyone. I see you. We are talking about career development here and moving to another country for life and career advancement in general. If you're interested in this topic, please stay tuned. Watch, like, share this live as well, and put in your comments, because I'm reading through every single one of the comments and we're having conversations. Yeah, my throat is getting dry. Yo, talking is not easy. But yes, I'm happy talking to you guys because yeah, we are getting to things that are opening our minds. We are getting to things that are actually beneficial to life, everyday life. Yes, and then another thing, I will still go back to talking about the language thing. Now, for those who are interested to move to Europe, especially, or Asia, because I don't know if sometimes some people well, we find ourselves that we are not well informed, yeah. So if you are planning to move to anywhere in Europe or in Asia, please, nobody should fool you and tell you that you do not have to learn the language. At some point in time, you would encounter the language challenge. So before you move to any country, if you know that they speak any language whatsoever, engage in it. Engage in it. Even if you are learning the language at a lower pace, try to do that. Because of course, definitely it will help you in the long run. Whether you are moving to Germany, whether you are moving to Lithuania, you are moving to Latvia, you are moving to Laos, you're moving to Asia, whatever Asian country, European country, Finland, Denmark, Norway, they all have their native languages. And if you have to survive in those countries and build a proper career, you would have to learn the language, even if passing in passing time. So before you move there, at least, even if you're not very good at languages, when you take time, gradually you will definitely learn it. Dear Ma, you know, out of the country studies, you always have time frame and bank account to meet up with. So how do you cope when you reach there and you don't have those needs? Uh, dear Ma, you know, out of the country studies, you always have time frame and bank accounts to meet up with. So how do you cope when you reach there and you don't have those needs? Yeah. So, like I said, and I'll keep repeating again, you have to try as much as possible to be prepared. Now, there is this ideology that a lot of us Africans have, that we think that when we move out of our original country and you move to Europe, life will be easier. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but life is not as easy as you think. Even sometimes I feel like life back home is even easier because sometimes if you are down, you would find a neighbor or someone who can help you. But then when you move out, you are expected to take care of yourself because yes, before you moved out of your country, you told the embassy you were able to and up to the task. And I know that a lot of life happens and things change. So what you have to do is before you move, like they usually say the people that you meet during the first month or the first year when you move to a new country matters a lot in your journey. They can either mar or make you. So you have to be intentional about the people that you meet, the people that you receive advice from. Also, you need to also work on not trying to prove a point. Live according to your means, live according to your standard. Do not try to live a big life when you know that you have bills to pay because here, if you don't pay your bills, they're going to add even a fine. So you don't want to be, if you know that, okay, for example, like students, I will say this thing based on my experience, yeah? And some people might not agree with me. For a career and a disadvantage. I'll get to the second question shortly. So if you have things to meet up with, the way you, if you know, okay, you can't eat, if you know you used to eat anyhow, reduce the way you eat. I mean, if you eat out, reduce the way you eat out. If you know you don't have a good job enough to sustain that lifestyle, you don't have to, for example, ladies, you don't have to be doing shopping all the time when you know you cannot meet up to the standard. Paying your bills and living a calm free and stress free life is important. And there is something I also noticed over here, that a lot of people fall into the trap of borrowing things and they think it's the best life. It's not, because at the end of the day you have to still pay those bills. So why would you want to live a life on borrow where sometimes you will not be able to even leave that country at all because you are in debt? Why would you want to put yourself in that place? I understand that sometimes you have the pressure to prove a point, especially back home. If you know you are not up to a certain level, don't try to prove a point to the people back home, trying to show them that, oh, you've arrived, you are in America, you are in Asia, you are in Europe, when you are going through a lot. No, tell them the truth that it's not as easy as they think, and they will be able to cut you some slack. But if you come online and you are showing that, okay, you've arrived and everything, they are going to demand from you. And I know sometimes there are people who over here in the diaspora, they don't even get enough time for themselves, but every time they are working, they're sending money home, and you are going through a lot of, you're owing the bank, you can't pay your rent, you can't pay a lot of these things. You don't want to be in that situation. So your lifestyle matters a lot. If you are pursuing a goal of achieving studies, make sure that all the money you are working, put it in your studies, get that certificate, graduate, and when you will graduate and you are working, you'll be able to meet up with the life that you want. So planning your life rightly, it's also very important. That's what I would say for those who fall in that category. Can you please tell us the advantages to come over to Finland for your career, the disadvantages? Okay, I would not say that Finland is 100% perfect. Let me take a sip of water because my throat is dry. So moving to Finland, like every other country, has its advantages and disadvantages. Now, what I want you to bear in mind is that, for me, I think Finland has its own advantage because of the way it's structured. Yeah, and that is why you hear that, okay, Finland has won the happiest country in the world for the 8th time. And that is because there is something that the government of Finland is doing. Of course, life will not be too rosy as you would think. So I want to say that when you're moving to any country, even moving to Finland, balance your expectations. Balance your expectations, yeah? Just know that, okay, there will be times that are difficult, especially when you move, the first few months when you move. Finding your balance would be a challenge. So you want to also have that in mind. However, the advantages in Finland is that if you are here and you have a good career, you have good language, you would be able to survive. And also for those, it depends on your status that you are living here. If you are living here, you've stayed there for a while and you're on permanent residence, then if you find yourself, okay, that you do not have a job or something happens, you can at least apply for an unemployment benefit. However, that is being worked on at the moment, like, because they need everybody to be working, yeah? So you don't want to come here and you are not working because you are relying on the government to take care of your lifestyle and you want to live a lavish lifestyle. In that case, the government is not going to help you. But if you have actually a genuine need, then the government is going to intervene for you. That is one advantage where Finland is good. And also we have a more of like a supportive community. I don't know if this happens in other countries, probably it does, but students in this country actually enjoy. That's what I would say. There was even a video I'm planning to do about the advantages of being a student in Finland. Because, okay, unlike, okay, the studies is expensive, it's not even expensive compared to America and other countries. Studies in Finland is expensive. And there are some schools that what they do to you is they give you a retroactive scholarship. Say, for example, if your studies was 6,000 per year, or let's say right now it's 12,000 per year, and you are able to pay for the first year, by the second year, they will at least give you a certain percentage of back as a retroactive scholarship, and you'll be able to use that to apply for the next year or to add it to the money you've worked. And students have the advantage to work, even though you have to work at least at most 30 hours per week. Yeah, but that is still enough if you have a good job. So, and the standard of pay is not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. So yeah, all of those things help. So managing your finances as well. However, I wouldn't say Finland has, well, its own disadvantage is that unlike probably America, where people can just within one day bloom into billionaires, we don't really have that here in Finland. So everybody is almost at the same level, because the higher for example, the higher your salary, the higher tax you would pay. So they make sure that if, for example, you're earning just 1,000 euros per month, You wouldn't pay as much tax as someone who earns like 5,000 or 10,000. So it makes the system a little bit balanced, which some people might not really like, because some people want to be billionaires and all of that. So if you just want to live life normally as a normal person, then Finland is a good place for you. And then for another advantage of Finland is that you if it is very good for family. It's a safe country. You can be able to raise your kids safely. Children don't get to pay school fees here, which is very good. But unlike America, even if you're earning so much, you still have to pay for how do they call it? Pre-care, I mean daycare and all of that, private. Yes, all of those things. So that's a little advantage of and disadvantage I was talk about when in Finland. But I think I love Finland so much. Finland is a very good country. It has given me opportunity, and I'm grateful for that. Okay, so uh, I think I'll be rounding up right now with the I'll be rounding up right now with the live session. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm sorry for those who came in late, but we'll continue again hopefully tomorrow. So I really appreciate you, peace of God, for supporting the live, for engaging with me. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm saying that I'll be rounding up with the live right now because, of course, I have to attend to some other stuff as well. But I appreciate you all. Thank you, family, for always being there. And hopefully, come again tomorrow with your questions. I'll be here ready to answer you. And I'll try as much as possible that tomorrow we start on the live a little bit earlier, say around 2 o'clock. Yeah, we'll start a little bit around 2 o'clock tomorrow so we can be able to have enough time to talk. And yeah. Any closing remark from you guys? So, apart from the language, basically in Finland, I think Finland is just okay. If you just want to live a normal life, Finland is a very good country for you. But if you are someone who, of course, everybody wants to be financially free and all of that. But then safety, you just have to check on which is your priority for you. Do you want to be in a safe country to raise your kids, to teach children well, or you want to be a billionaire and all of that? So it just depends on your priority and the country. But for me, I appreciate Finland so much. And that will be my closing remark. Thank you so much. So guys, I'll be leaving you for now and then see you again tomorrow. Yeah. Whew, peace of God, are you there? I'm rounding off now. I'll be rounding off now shortly. So in like let's say 3 minutes, 3 minutes from now, I'll be ending the live. So if you have any question, please, 2 minutes actually right now. In 2 minutes from now, I'll be rounding the live. So please, if you have any final questions, just ask and then we'll be done with that. 2 more minutes to end the live. If you have more questions, just send it through and I'll get to answer it before we end the live session. Yeah. So yeah. So one of the things where I hear people talk about a lot is the taxes in Finland. It's very, very high. Of course, the road tax if you have car, a lot of different things. But then it's not even a must that you must have a car because the bus system is very good in Finland. Well, not all the cities do, but in some cities the bus system is good. So if you think, okay, the taxes for getting a car is high, you can always use public transport and you'll be fine. And yeah, Finland is a good country. We have good weather, well, except for the winter, where it's cold. So if you're someone who doesn't like cold at all, maybe Finland might not be for you. But if you know that you can manage in winter, of course you dress warm. We have all the facilities of warm, and we have saunas as well. So yes, Finland is a good place. I advise you to come at least to visit or to stay here. That would be good. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining the live. We are rounding off now and we have 50 seconds to go. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for joining me on this live today. I'll see you again tomorrow at 2 o'clock, hopefully our time. Okay, yeah, so see you guys and take care. Remain safe out there. Keep planning. If you have more questions about planning a career, developing your career in your country or moving to another country, please come back to my live or to any of my videos and ask your questions. Make sure to subscribe, share the video to others as well so that they can learn and yeah, and achieve you. I'll help you achieve your goal. Okay, thank you and see you again tomorrow. Moika. Moika means bye in Finnish.